We want to stay away from niches where it's hard to make money. Some niches are complete no-goes with ad networks, and other niches don't work well with affiliate marketing. Other niches again are almost impossible to rank in Google these days, so I want you to know exactly what to look for. Over the last decade I have created niche sites in more than 50 niches, and I want to share with you what you need to know to choose a really good niche, and in this video we're going to look at what you need to stay away from. Let's start by talking about ad networks. It's really nice to at least have the opportunity to be able to put ads on your website, because ads are doing really well these days. Maybe not these days exactly when we're talking about the coronavirus days, but if you're watching this video at a little later point in time, ads will probably have come back up again pretty soon. But the thing with ad networks is that they don't allow for content that are controversial. So that can be content around firearms, or violent sports, or news, or politics, just anything that can be controversial of nature. So why is that? See, these ad networks, they want to work with as many brands as possible, so they only want family-friendly content. That means that your website about hunting or your website about politics will not work for everybody in the States, and that's why the ad networks will not work with you. At least not the bigger ones and the ones that really pay well. And we really do need those ads on our websites, because when you write new content you don't know if it's going to do well with affiliate marketing or with an info product and so on. So as you create a lot of content, some of that content will not be able to be monetized with anything else than ads. And it's just really nice to be able to put ads just across all your content and make sure that you make money with every piece of content you put out there. So if you're wondering if this or this niche will work well with ads, just shoot them an email. Shoot an email to Ezoic or AdThrive or Mediavine and ask them if they think that this niche will work well with their audience. The next niches I want you to stay away from are niches that are not working well with affiliate marketing. So these are typically niches where all the products you can think of are very low priced. So if you can only earn like $1 or $2 per sale, you need a very large amount of sales in order to make it work. And that's probably not possible, because remember, only a few % of the traffic you're going to send to those affiliate offers will actually buy anything. So a good example here is a book review site. That's probably not gonna work too well with affiliate offers, because all the books these days are getting sold over at Amazon and they are not paying a high commission for books. Also because the price of those books is very low. Other niches that typically don't do well with affiliate marketing are niches where the products are super expensive, or if the products are not being moved or sold online. But again, here there are always exceptions to these rules. I've had some pretty awesome niche sites about a specific type of expensive furniture. So imagine getting a 6% commission on a product that costs around $3,000. That's an 180 commission per sale, so you don't need a lot of sales on that site in order to make a good deal of money. So think twice before you make a decision here. For example, a site about buying and selling houses. I know you're not selling houses online, but people do buy insurances online, and there's also a ton of possibilities with lead generation for real estate agents and many other things. So with ads like we talked about before, it's either you get approved or you're not getting approved. So it's a go or a no-go. But with affiliate, we can always find some deals that would work. But we just want to think about this before we choose a niche, because some niches work better and have just better priced items than others. The next type of niches that I want you to stay away from entirely, unless you have a lot of experience with online marketing, is what Google refer to as your money, your life niches. If you don't know what that is, don't worry, I have a video up here that will explain to you exactly what it is. So a little background info here. This all happened because Google got grilled in the Congress about fake news and the validity of the search result and the information you find in Google. So because of that, Google had to take some quite extreme measures, and after those hearings, Google has made it almost impossible to rank a news site for anything that's related to financial advice, health-related topics, and the list just keeps growing. Check out the video that I linked to before if you want to see a more extensive list of what to stay away from. So when that happened not too long ago, we saw big websites getting smashed in Google, and we're talking about pretty harmless websites about recipes and just general health tips, how to raise kids and children, just general topics that you would think you could easily create a website around. But luckily we also saw Google weed out among the most spammy and scam sites out there about fake weight loss pills, gambling, and sites that would sell you the worst loans ever. I hate those sites, and it's just nice to see Google weeding out all that crap. And remember, when we're talking about this whole YMYL thing and how much authority or EAT do you need to rank a website, it's all on a scale. It's not black and white. It's not like you can rank this and you can never rank this. If you take good care and you take good time to build up authority and trust, and if you have those credentials that you need to rank in your field, you can definitely make it work. So you just need to think about where are you on your scale. If we're talking weight loss and we're talking gambling and credit cards, we are way into YMYL land. But if we're talking general tips on how to play with your kids, how to have a good picnic, how to cook food and stuff, we are closer to something that we could probably make work with a new site. And if you want to go for one of these topics, just make sure to build up some authority on the web outside your website, so it'll not be enough to just create awesome and epic content pieces for your website. Maybe you should go for a huge YouTube channel on the site, or build a Pinterest presence and make sure that people on nice websites, good authoritative websites, will link to your content. So people, and Google of course, can easily see that you are indeed an authority in your space, and they will be able to find you if they Google you because you've spoken at conferences, you were on podcasts, and many things like that. The next type of niches I also want you to think twice about before you enter are niches that are too small. You have probably heard that the riches are in the niches, and that all used to be true, but today I wouldn't advise anybody to build a lot of teeny tiny niche sites. I would always advise you to go for a broader and bigger niche where you can keep growing that site. And this is because we see authority and size is starting to matter more in Google when we're ranking websites. A teeny tiny site with like 30, 40 or 50 articles will not do as well as a huge site with hundreds of articles. I know you're not going to build this overnight, but over a couple of years, anybody can take a website to a few hundred articles. And as your website matures, it's just nice for one to be able to continue building the site, and two, to have that tailwind in Google because your website is seen as an authority. And I have definitely made that mistake in the past by choosing to go with a domain name that's focused around one product or a small niche of products. So this doesn't mean that you cannot start out a website around a specific niche that's really small. Let's take skipping or rope jumping, for example. That's a pretty small niche. So if you wanted to write articles about rope jumping, you could totally do that, but don't call the website ropejumpfreak.com or anything like that, because that will limit you to only be able to write about skipping and rope jumping. I would go for a domain that's broader, like Mrs. Jumper or Jumping Freak or something like that, because that will, for example, enable you to write about trampolines, and that's a huge niche that will just double the potential of your site right there. See this graph from Google Trends? As you can read from these bars to the left here, jumping on the trampoline is just as popular as rope jumping. So make sure to check this out. Always check Google Trends before you choose a niche. So it's basically just about nailing the right domain name and not corner yourself there. You can definitely start out with a small niche and just continue building as long as you don't corner yourself. So you might think, how about like huge niches? Can the topic and the niche be too big? I don't think they can. I mean, they can definitely be too competitive, but that's something else. They can't be too big, because the bigger the niche, the more cracks you'll be able to find, and the more articles you can find that are what we call long tail articles. These are the articles that target very, very tiny and very specific searches, like how long will the leather bag last, or what is the right stand for this type of camera, you know? Topics that are tiny topics, but that's very helpful to the reader. So by now you might be thinking, what is left? Like, we just got rid of like 50% of all niches or 80% of everything you can write about. That's not how it is. there's still a ton of niches you can work with. Let me just get you some examples here. You can write about hobbies and sports, crafts, art, pets like any pet out there, local guide sites, interior design, gardening, tech niches like home automation, smart homes, whatever tech niche you can think of, you can probably make a website around. If you need to get your brain started on a ton of ideas, you can go to the link here where I have gathered a lot of niche ideas. You can also find a link in the description. And as always, if you liked the video, subscribe to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up. See you guys.